Mr. President, it's General Carville at the Pentagon on line 5.
This is Dugan.
Mr. President, I'm afraid we have a heck of a situation down here.
How bad could it be, Ben?
According to NORAD, we've got Soviet aircraft coming at us from all directions and ground troops pushing up through Mexico. I don't know how they snuck in on us.
You better double check this with NORAD. Just doesn't make any sense. I'll call the Kremlin.
Will do.
Da, Premier Romanov here.
What's going on over there, Alex?
Why, Mr. President, whatever do you mean?
Alex, I have, You're throwing everything you've got at us, Alex. We're supposed to be allies, you maniac. I'm the one that put you into office.
Listen very carefully. I am not your pet, Mr. President. We Romanovs have our legacy to consider.
I don't give a wooden nickel about your legacy. You call them off. Alex, you call them off. You know, we'll retaliate.
Oh, don't be so sure, Mr. President.
Sir,
Verification?
you betcha.
Sweet mother. It's time to hit back. Make it happen.
Yes, sir. This is General Carville. Soviet invasion confirmed. Execute launch order 010 Adam Delta Charlie.
Have confirmation. Missiles prime.
Armed!
Missile command.
10 seconds to launch. Open the missile silos.
Jerry, what?
We have to open the silos, or they'll explode under... The silo doors are closed. This is suicide.
Is it done, Yuri?
No, Comrade Premier. It has only begun.
Locked and loaded.
We will bury them. Sir! Yes, sir!
Good morning, Commander, and welcome to basic training. There's a war on, so we have to make this a crash course. In front of you is your battlefield control interface. With this interface, you can command any soldier on the field. Let's begin with the new recruit you see in the center of your screen. Move him away from his barracks and out into the field. Left-click on the soldier to select him. Then, left-click on empty ground to move him to that location. Try not to get him killed on the way to the shooting range. Now that you've mastered the difficult task of commanding a single soldier, try ordering around a squad. First, select all of the men by left-clicking and holding down the mouse button. In this mode, you can drag a selection box around all of your men. Select all of the soldiers at once and order them east to the bridge.
Welcome, Commander. As you can see, there's a significant change from this game to the previous ones.
This bridge was destroyed yesterday when the Navy SEALs used it for demolition practice. An engineer is en route to repair it. When he arrives, left-click on him to select him, then left-click on the repair hut next to the bridge. Once the bridge is repaired, move your men across.
I just soft-locked the game, by the way. I don't know if this was doable on the original version of the game, but if you click on the Chinook and then try to deploy over water, it just won't work.
Let's do it!
Mission failed. Unit lost.
To repair it. When he arrives, left-click on him to select him, then left-click on the repair hut next to the bridge. Once the bridge is repaired, move your men across.
There's quite a few simple tasks for us to do, but realistically, they're helpful at least to show us the basics of the game. If you've already played a Command & Conquer title, you can skip these tutorials, basically.
Ready, on the move!
There's not much in terms of new items that you'll see in the tutorials. It's kind of just a rerun of everything you've already seen. Also, I noticed that somehow my music volume was set to 0. That travesty, really, because, I mean, we can listen to some Frank Klepacki.
Squared away, sir!
This is the shooting range. Select your men by drag selecting a box around the group. Once selected, left-click on the targets downrange. This will order your men to fire at these targets. Destroy all of the targets.
On the move! On the move! Dig it in! Let's do it!
Notice that one of your men has a special symbol on him when he's selected. This unit is a veteran unit. Veterans are tougher, stronger, and can fire more accurately than ordinary soldiers. Double-click on the man who is set up in a defensive position to order him to move out. Now, order your men to move on up the road.
New terrain discovered.
So, it's very hard to see which unit has veterancy. They reuse the chevrons. And I should probably just point out right now that there's obviously the same sort of benefits you would see in veteran units as we have previously. Also, a couple of small things to note is that, yes, veteran units do actually move faster.
In front of you is a derelict American Grizzly battle tank. Order your men to destroy the crippled tank.
Sir, yes, sir!
For exact values, we can look at the rule any file. The veteran ratio, basically what you need to do or destroy before you can gain veterancy,
to destroy the tank than the targets
is destroying 3 times the value of the unit.
Armored units. In turn, armored units may not be the most effective weapons for destroying dug-in infantry. Pick the right unit when facing enemies. Good job today. You've completed an important part of your training.
Mission accomplished.
Welcome back, Commander.
Today you will fight a mock battle against another commander. He will command the red team, you will command the blue team. Select your mobile construction vehicle by left-clicking on it, then order it to move out of the base. Move out to the east and try to find some open ground.
This is where we're finally given the reins and can explore a little bit more.
Your mobile construction vehicle is now in open ground. Double-click on it to deploy a construction yard. Now that you have a construction yard, you can begin to build a base. On the right side of your screen, you can see that the icon for a power plant has appeared. Left-click on that icon to start construction of the power plant. Notice how your remaining money decreases while the power plant is building. Each building has a... Good. Now your base has power. Notice the power indicator on the left side of your build bar. Each structure you build has a power cost. If your base runs short of power, some buildings will stop working and others will work inefficiently. Now it's time to build a refinery so you can begin harvesting. Ore and gems are harvested by your miners and converted to cash. Left-click on the ore refinery icon. When your refinery's ready, place it in the same way you did with the power plant.
So there's a few things that are available to us, or at least as well as also noticeable to us. The first is there appears to be tabs now.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Building.
Sadly, we won't see it until we have a barracks.
Will automatically begin to collect ore. Many buildings and units depend on one another. Placing a power plant allowed you to build a refinery and barracks. Placing a barracks will allow you to train infantry. On the right-hand side of your screen, you should see a button that looks like a soldier. When you press that button, you will see the different types of soldiers that you can train. Right now, all you can train is a GI. Left-click on the GI to start training him. Left-click multiple times to train a series of GIs.
Unit ready.
Now, I forget if there was ever a limit on the queues specifically, but it is nice that we finally have that functionality. Being limited to only building 5 at a time was just a lot of micromanagement that you didn't or shouldn't really have had.
On hold.
There's also some special things to note.
Red Team may attack soon. Your GIs are armed with rubber bullets for this mission. In real combat, they would, of course. Crates can be collected for special bonuses. This one contains a cash bonus.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
As I was saying, there's a couple of special things to note. Noticeably that we have a harvester or chrono miner that's very unique. There's a lot more flavor in the two factions this time around. And we'll get to see those differences the further we move along in the campaign.
Construction complete.
The most important thing to note is that the chrono miner, well, teleports.
How about some action? Yes, sir. Squared away, sir.
So whenever it's full, it just teleports right back to your refinery, eliminating half of its travel time, which is pretty significant, especially since it kind of reduces the impact on long-distance harvesting.
Red Team's strike force has been defeated. Now, build some more soldiers, Commander, and when you feel you're ready, move them. Your GIs can garrison inside many civilian structures. Select one of your GIs, then left-click on the barn to send him in. While garrisoned, your troops are protected from enemy fire. When the structure is severely damaged, all occupants will be ejected.
Structure garrisoned. Structure abandoned.
To exit your soldiers from a civilian structure, select the structure, then click on it again.
Orders?
There's also a few things that haven't necessarily been mentioned yet. We saw veterancy in the last mission, or the last tutorial, and it should be mentioned that there's a quote-unquote veteran ratio, and a lot of exploding barrels make their return. Now, the veteran ratio basically means that a unit needs to destroy 3 times its value before it can gain 1 level of veterancy. This can be very important to try to micromanage. With every level of veterancy, it also gains, as one might expect, a boost to each one of its values. Specifically, its attack, speed, sight is mentioned, but it doesn't do anything, I don't think. Armor, rate of fire. Again, this is important stuff. And we'll see just what kind of special abilities some units get the more they get veterancy. One thing that isn't directly mentioned is that GIs that are deployed or in their sandbag form, 1, can't be run over, which is very important, and 2, actually shoot at a further distance than units that are not deployed. So, something to keep in mind. Effectively, they're just better on defense.
Unit promoted.
Sir, yes, sir.
Unit promoted.
How about some action? On my way.
Otherwise, there's not too much left for this video, so please keep following, and we'll get into the Allied campaign soon enough.
Unit lost.
Good job, Commander. You've defeated the Red Team. Your basic training is complete.